we are. Stormwater Creek's back. We're here with a new episode. If y'all have been following us on any of our social medias, y'all have known I've been getting my ass kicked by an outboard motor. Yep. And someone out there, I can't remember who it is, so I apologize, tagged a surface drive company that I found out is in Fort Worth. So now here we are with him at this
Fast
table.
forward.
We're here at Texas Live, right? That's what this place is called?
Texas Live.
To discuss duck boats, which immediately when I started talking to him, the first thing that popped in my head was I would love to sit down with someone and talk about duck boats because I like boats. I like duck hunting. So why not?
Yeah.
So we're going over your name, and I'm probably going to mispronounce it even though we just went over this, but just go ahead and say it so I don't look like that.
No, sorry, you're good.
So you're learning. That's the way you do it.
We're here.
Who are you?
My name's Thomas Dieter, owner of Drake Surface Drives.
Awesome. So we're just actually talking about this. So one of the big things to start out with is what got you into making surface drives? Like why surface drives?
It's a kind of a cool story. I mean, it comes down from the root of hunting. To me, it's just I love to duck hunt and I love to be out there, and so I love to get away from everybody and kind of do my own thing. And got tired of paddling home. A couple outboards kind of left me stranded. One was equipment malfunction, and the other one was the weather got so bad that the lower unit had frozen, and I knew I was going to burn it down if I drove it home. So I paddled like 6 hours out to where I could walk out, and that was it. I never went to an outboard again. So I kind of made the very
cold turkey, huh?
Yep, that was it. Dropped
done.
it. Yep. And I actually went and built a very crude. I thought it was great. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, but chain driven, like just a beast. And I decided after that year I'd sell it, give somebody the opportunity, $200, and I'd kind of improve the design, kind of make myself something a little better, ran faster, a little more horsepower. And when I sold that one on Craigslist, I didn't even sell it. I never sold it. I had so much interest in it that it kind of sparked an eye. I was like, wow, I could make a couple of these for friends and some people around, and I maybe could fund my duck hunting, So that's where,
exactly.
Goals, And so I was like, wow, I might actually get better than a little 14-foot boat.
Yeah.
So I started building a couple, and some people down south in southeast Texas started picking on to them, and before I knew it, I was getting more orders than I could make. And it went from just cutting little parts up, making stuff in the garage and machining stuff myself, to taking designs down to machine shops and to
make this.
And putting them on CAD and everything. So
that's been something we've been looking at. Like we got some cheap Craigslist outboards just to get us by, but we've also already been talking about getting like a mud motor of types like long tail or screw tail or
the
or even a surface drive.
Yep.
And because like we said before, like we don't have the deep pockets for a fan boat or anything like that. I would love to be able to run on land too. But
be kind of cool.
Amphibious, a little better, the best of both.
Exactly.
But so I guess the biggest question is when you're looking into a motor for a duck boat, what exactly are you looking at, and what's the biggest thing that you need on a duck boat motor?
To me, on a duck boat motor, on these motors, I think that there's kind of two people coming to the table on this. There's somebody like me, duck hunting is a hobby. It's a passion. It's 2 to 3 months of my life, my year, that I'm going to use that motor. So for me, there's the short shafts, which are the surface drives. There's long tails. There's the twister tail. Some of the twister tails and some of those smaller motors like that. I think there's a mud skipper. I think those are not a bad motor if you're going to be on like a kayak, you're a really light application. I would say that would actually probably work okay for you. You start throwing a 22 horsepower or something like that on a mud skipper. I just don't feel like that they're going to hold up to the beating that you can put out, that you can unleash on them.
Yeah.
Then you got the long shafts, which, those came first. Chicken before the egg before the chicken. That's the long shaft was here. The long shaft's been here for a long time, and I think it was about 2002 or 2003 when I think it was Pro Drive. I think Pro Drive was the first one to come to the table and go set up a booth and say we came out with this, and so they're pretty new on the market. So there's only 4 or 5 manufacturers. 5 manufacturers of them really on the market besides me.
Wow.
So they're pretty new on the market. They're really revolutionary, I think, in the mud world and the duck hunting world. So yeah, you got big horsepower, and then so when you get into that surface drive, that's where you get big horsepower, little horsepower. Then you get into the the Razoo stuff. You're going to want to spend a lot on it, or you just need it for the hobby stuff. And that's where I say there's kind of 2 people in that. There's somebody who uses the boat all the time, through the summer, through the spring, fall, all the time. That's somebody who's going to use that motor a lot. So that might be somebody that actually does want to spend, the 12, 15, 20 grand on a boat and a whole setup. Somebody in my position where, you use it for a hobby. I just want to get, I want to get from the boat ramp to my duck spot. I want to get, from my duck spot, the most important, I want to get my duck spot. That was mine. I want to get from the duck spot, and I want to get back to the boat, or back to the ramp, There's nothing worse than paddling, or there's nothing worse than being pulled in by somebody else.
Oh, my God.
So that's where, that's where I came into it, and, I offer just trying to think of the part. Trying to get a entry-level surface drive. So I get the entry-level surface drive that, just about anybody that's buying a high-end longtail can afford an entry-level surface drive.
Yeah.
So the difference then on the surface drives to the longtails, the longtails are going to do good in the shallows. They're going to do just fine, and all that type of application. But when you get out in the open water, you better be in the gym, because you're going to have to hold that thing in the water while you're going long distance across deep water. They're hard. You got to fight them quite a bit. There's the top end is, it can be there with a lot of modifications and all that, but for a stock motor, all that, if you're apples to apples, you're not going to get the speed out of a longtail that you will out of a surface drive. Same with the surface drive. You're going to lose a few miles an hour when you hit the open water, the deep water. But once you hit that deep water, that surface drive, you can sit there and drink coffee and just drive the boat out there, just go home. It's that easy.
So on your surface drive, does it sit below the boat, or is it even with the bottom of the boat?
No, actually, the surface drive, the bottom of your belt housing is actually going to sit a few inches above the bottom of your transom.
Okay.
You don't want it to be too close to the water, because the different riders and different weights in the back of the boat can actually cause the water to return quicker from the bottom of the transom and catch your drive. And when that happens, it's basically going to just shovel water in the back of your boat.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's just going to be an anchor in the water. If it's heavy enough, you might not even get on plane, or you might sink your boat in the process.
Whoa.
So yeah, you got to have
there.
Yeah, you got to have a certain height that's just right, because you don't want to go too high, because then the prop is entering the water at the wrong angle. And the surface drives, actually, there's the cigarette boats, stuff like that. High-end boats, speed boats, run with an Anderson surface drive. Well, if you're watching their videos, like the prop is half in the water, half out. They're more efficient that way. They run better that way. So the surface drives, that's where they came up on those, and they're running that prop half in the water, half out. So the best option is to have that shaft as close to parallel with the water where it enters where the prop pierces the water.
Rock on. And so basically what you're saying is, so for the long tail, it's fine if you're always in the shallows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're basically
stump thumping.
Yeah, where it's riding on the ground maybe kind of thing.
Yeah, when you're in that real shallow water, shallow draft, you're not going to fight it as much.
Yeah.
Then the difference comes into the long tails and the short shafts. It comes into trees and tight rivers or tight streams, wherever you're going to be. That the surface drive is going to give you a ton more mobility. You can whip around corners. You can slide the boat around. The long shaft, you're not going to do that. If you get in heavy timber, you're going to be, trying not to hit your prop on a tree. You're going to be kind of placing it around, trying to jump it around. So you got a lot more mobility out of that short shaft.
So there's really 3 types of surface, or not surface drive, but motors that are not outboards, right? So there's the the surface drive, the long tail, and you said the
There's another one called the twister tail, and I think it more falls into like a long tail.
Okay.
But they've shortened it up a little bit, and it kind of comes out and then makes like an S turn and drops in the water.
So like what's, like you said, you talked about kind of just the difference, but what does something like that do over a long tail? What's
the twister tail?
Yeah, what's the design benefit you get?
I think they're mostly on that one, and I'm shooting in this one on the dark on that a little bit, just judging by their design. But I can see that it would probably be a little bit more maneuverable in the trees and tighter places because it doesn't stick out quite as far behind the boat. On that same sense, I haven't seen a lot of big horsepower on those. I don't like a 22 horsepower or something like that. I haven't seen any of the Predators or something like that on them. The ones that I've seen some posts of, they're troubleshooting them. It's because they're having trouble with them because they're not performing right, which I don't think they were meant for that horsepower.
Yeah. Just too much torque and everything.
I guess it twists that. I don't know if it's a line or cable that twists down through that makes that bend.
I've been trying to figure out what the twist is for.
Yeah, how does that
mean? I'm guessing it's for, I wouldn't, not leverage, but...
like I wonder if it keeps the motor down more.
Well, like you were saying, like it makes it a little closer, but you have a little more fine-tuning of it because of the angle of it instead of just a straight shaft.
Their props are designed to be run onto the water and not half in, half out like a surface drive.
Yeah.
So they're actually still submerged in the water, so they're getting that propeller's getting a full bite on the water. So it's running the same as a long tail. And the long tail sits in that little trough of water that kind of comes up the pyramids behind the boat, creating your wake. That's where your long tail will sit in, and sits in that whole water. And so I think that twister tail, they're the same design concept like that, but they just shorten it up. But in order to have that prop hit the water, they had to drop it a couple feet.
Down. So, I mean, as far as just like getting into it and, why would somebody want one of these? Just any type of mud motor, surface or long tail, twisted tail, whatever. Why would somebody want that over an outboard? And what's kind of the benefit? I mean, obviously, you're going to be able to get a little bit shallower, but what other benefits are you really gaining off of that?
Well, I mean, if you ever watch Tim Allen's, more horsepower.
Yeah, more horsepower.
Yeah, you can put it all in the garage, man. More stuff to buy.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I mean, the big difference between the outboard and any type of surface drive or the long tail is going to be the fact that that's turned up.
Yeah, they do. We're sitting at Texas Live and Monday Night Football is on, and that's the great Jason Witten you're hearing in the background.
Yes, all great. So the big difference on the outboards in any type of those, the long tail or a surface drive, is the fact that the long tails and the surface drives are going to take the abuse.
Yeah.
They're air cooled, so you don't have to worry about the mud, the weeds, the grass, all that. You don't have to worry about any of that getting in there and causing issues with your outboard. An outboard, it's a boat motor. It's relying on water to cool it. The prop is not designed to hit things. It's not designed to take strikes on the bottom and keep rolling. They've got safety guards on them. If you can hit something on the bottom, but typically you're going to go into the shop tomorrow morning and find out what you broke. On the surface drives and the long tails, you hit stuff and it literally bounces right out, and you're back in the water and you're going like it never happened. So, but the big issue, and not so much for Texas. Texas a little bit. We get the weather where it gets cold and freezes sometimes, but that caught me. That's the last time I ever used an outboard. Was my outboard froze. I was tucked it up in the weeds and back up in the timber. The outboard was pushed. It was so shallow that the outboard was actually out of the water. I duck hunted the whole morning, and it was so cold. Great morning, good hunt. But when I came back to the boat, the outboard had been out of the water. The lower unit had been out of the water long enough that it was frozen. All the grates were frozen closed. And so, I started the motor. I tried to let it pee a little bit, see if because I knew anything that froze in the motor wouldn't have frozen solid.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, maybe I can get it moving, and once I get water moving, we're good. It didn't. It peed for a couple seconds, and then it stopped. And I just kept feeling the motor, and it got hot. I was like, I shut it off because that was it. So there's the difference on an outboard and a surface drive or a long tail. Those long tails, You can run them out. You can run them for 30 minutes on the way to the ramp and let them warm up. When you get to the ramp, that motor's already warm, and it's been running on the highway.
Wow. I mean, it's definitely something that we've, just in our short little time of graduating from kayaks to a motor, we're like already like we need one of these.
Yeah, and that's basically we're actually talking about that before we turn the recorder on as well, is the fact that we went from walking into a place, which is fantastic. If that's what you got, that's what you got. You don't have to spend money to do this, but then we went to kayaks, which was also great. But for time limits and waking up even at 3 o'clock in the morning, getting out to the boat ramp, getting the kayak in the water, getting to a spot, you have a few hours.
Yeah.
So I have to make time for putting your decoys out and getting ready. The next step is getting a motor so you can go anywhere on a lake for the most part to try to get to your spot.
Right.
On public land, someone might be in that spot. Yada yada yada. So we're at the point of a motor.
Yeah.
And I'm really sold on a surface drive. I think Grinch has been battling me over this. He wants a long tail.
I don't know why you would want so what would be no money is like no option, right? Let's just say that. Why would you want one over the other?
This is not so here I am. I am the owner of this company. I'll tell you, if you have unlimited pockets and you want the baddest thing on the market, if you got 20 grand to throw down, those other manufacturers are great. I'm not going to dog them. I'm not going to say that they're bad or that I would not buy one.
Sure.
If you would have handed me 20 grand 4 years ago when I was having these troubles, I'd have bought a boat and a gator tail or a mud buddy or one of these other manufacturers and had every Razoo part to it, hydraulic everything to it. Really when it comes down to it, you have to look what you can afford. So unlimited budget, man, there's some amazing stuff on the market.
But why would you want to have, if money was no option, like you said, would you choose a surface drive? I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I would definitely go with the surface drive. Yeah.
And the benefit of that is just like its maneuverability and those things you talked about earlier.
It's the open water. There's some places down, maybe Louisiana and Florida, stuff like that, where you're pretty much primarily always in the mud, always in the swamp. But even then, you're going to be running in 3 or 4 or 5 feet of water.
Yeah.
And what happens is these boats, when they're in open water, they're pushing that water down, hydraulics. They're pushing that water down in under the hull. And so when they're in deep water, it just pushes it down to kind of infinity and on. So the boat sits a little deeper. Well, that slows the drive down a little bit, and so it goes a little slower. But when you get when you get in that real shallow water, that boat will pick up 2-3 miles an hour. And you can literally feel the boat lift up out of the water. And it's for no other reason. It's no other reason. While you're on plane, then when the hydraulics, that boat's pushing water down, and when you go over 2 inches of water, it's pushing 4 inches. Let's just say 4 inches of water down, but you run into 2 inches of just water. Well, now it's going to lift your boat up out of the water. Not out of the water, but it's it's going to lift it up, and you're going to have a much shallower draft. And so the boat's going to go faster, and then drive actually runs more efficient when it gets that.
Okay. Wow. I'm intrigued. I wish Grinch was here.
I wouldn't have this argument with him. I was hoping he'd be here, but that guy got married. And
bring him on,
He did get married yesterday.
No excuses.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Play like a champion. Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was very tired, so.
there was may or may not have been some drinking.
On a Sunday, nonetheless. It was a crazy night last night. I drank more White Russians last night than I have in my entire life.
Oh, man.
I can't believe we went to White Russians.
My God.
Yeah.
I was hungover a bit this morning, but.
You're holding up like a champion today.
Yeah, it was. This was what got me through the day. I was like, we're gonna record a cool podcast tonight.
We're gonna beat this guy down. We're gonna see
exactly.
what this is all about.
Exactly. So, what kind of boat do you have to have? I mean, to have something like a service drive. I mean, can you use pretty much any kind of boat, or?
Well, I would say yes, but no. You can have. It's got to be flat bottom. That's your biggest restriction. The V bottom, or some even the modified V hulls, they have a kind of a V nose on them. You got to watch, because if they're not flat on the back, then it's not going to the water's not going to be the same on the back, and the surface drive won't run the same on
correctly.
it.
Yeah.
when it comes down to hulls, it's what you can. I'll go back to what I said a minute ago. It's what you can afford.
Okay.
You're gonna get the performance for what you can afford.
Yeah.
So, my old boats that I've had, they were just old, low boats or whatever it was I could find that I could get a good deal on. And I 20, 22 miles an hour, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And then, I start seeing some other boats, and I start getting in some other hulls that are actually designed for surface drives.
Yeah.
And I'm running the same exact motor on different hulls, and I'm finding out that every hull runs differently. They all perform differently.
Yeah.
So really, the more you spend on the hull, the better the performance is going to be on it. But if you're just looking to get cheap into it, a flat bottom, like a 14-foot, you're going to do just fine.
Yeah.
I've actually found that some of the 15 or about 15 foots actually run a little better than the 14 foots. Somebody who has better knowledge in boat holes can explain that why. I think it's just because there's just a small footprint on the water and so much weight in it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the 14 foots with pods on them, and they run just like a 15 foot. They run great.
A pod? I'm not sure what that is.
Pods are, you can buy them from like Cabela's and these places like that. They're actually just like aluminum extension on either the left and the right side of the boat on the back. It's better to weld them up, but you can actually bolt them up and everything to the boat, to the back of the transom. They angle up a little bit with the same curve, kind of same angle that the water returns, back up from the back of the hull, and they'll help get you up on plane. They give you more flotation in the back, so with that 22 horsepower or whatever like that, it's going to float the boat a little bit better, and you're not going to get as much wash over the back of your hull when you stop.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
They kind of just fresh.
They look badass.
Yeah, they take a regular John boat and turn it into a duck boat. It's like you see that and you're like, oh, that guy's going to the marsh. So.
You said they were called what again?
Pods.
Pods.
That's what I was. I called it a dovetail, but
yeah,
that was.
You put pods in your phone on that, you're probably going to come up with like pods and eating them and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Like Tide pods.
Tide pods.
Yeah.
Beaver tail performance flotation pods.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I know what these are. Man.
See, you need to get a duck boat, Abe.
Well, all we need to do is get some pods.
Exactly.
And these are $300. I feel like we could probably do this for about $150 with your welder.
Yeah.
I've been known to weld some stuff.
Those are pretty
I'm
cool.
all about doing stuff from home, doing it.
Yeah. It's an extender, huh?
Yeah, it extends the transom back a little bit, and kind of gives you just that little extra flotation.
Yeah. Dude, that's what we should do next. Well, we should get our motor running first.
Yeah.
I actually got it running for a good while.
Nuh-uh.
And then it quit on me.
Oh, man. I hate when that happens.
Just enough time to pull my phone out and almost hit record for you.
And
so
it died?
I got it, and it just died out.
So we bought so I was on a mission.
1977 Ted Williams 15 horsepower outboard.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was like a madman scouring the internet trying to find, I want a cheap motor that I just can get, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend more than, I was like, I want to spend like $100.
Yeah.
Right? Possible.
Your goals are way better than mine.
So,
well.
Listen.
Well, you know what?
We're not going to get into this right now, but he's cheap.
No, I think I did start at $100 on my first one. I went through two. Yeah, so.
So I found a guy on OfferUp. I was scouring 5 Mile, Craigslist, eBay.
Oh yeah.
The whole 9 yards, right? And so I find this guy. He's like, I got this motor. I don't know what it is. I don't know what brand it is. I don't know nothing about it.
You need to start the story the correct way.
Because
you left
back it up.
the part out that you actually people need to know this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's messed up.
It is messed up. So I found this motor on Craigslist. Guy wanted $130 for it. I was like, all right, let's do it. $130, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, come and get it. So I drive from my house in Rowlett all the way up to Frisco area, right?
Yeah.
Guy's like, I'm on my way. I'll see you in 30 minutes. I get almost to his house. And he's like, hey, man, I sold that motor to another guy.
Oh,
and I'm like, are you kidding me? I told you I was on my way. What the hell?
That's a violation of the Craigslist ethics. Once they're on their way, you have to hold it.
You gotta hold it. Yeah, And I mean, the thing is, I mean, at least he could have done was just call me and say, hey, man, I got somebody here. What's the deal?
Yeah.
But I told you I was leaving. I'm leaving. And it's not like I was like, had not been in communication with you. So
Right.
that like set me on fire. And so
They must not think about that. He gave you his address, right?
yeah,
What in the world? Like,
I was like, you know.
you must be a good
Yeah,
person.
he lucked out. Like,
Yeah.
he got Abe.
Yeah, you got Abe. He got anybody else. He probably in toilet paper that night.
Oh my God, I so badly was like, I'm
I
going
would
over
definitely
there.
put sugar in his gas tank.
Oh man.
I just went home
Our
like an
bologna on
asshole.
his paint job.
Yeah.
So the next day, so like I'm up like just looking for boats, right, motors, right? And so finally I found this one on OfferUp. This guy was like, it's like $70.
Yeah.
So we have a mechanic in the house, and I'm like, okay, there's no way it runs, but it's a boat motor. It's just a little outboard, you know. So
how hard can this be?
I mean, exactly. He can fix it. He fixes all kinds of crazy stuff.
He
So
can fix everything but a broken heart.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
And a 1977 Ted Williams outboard.
exactly. So I get to this guy. So this guy was like, hey, meet me at my address. So we get there, and he's like, well, it's in a storage shed down the street. And I'm like, well, this is where I die.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
this is exactly how I die.
You start thinking all your life decisions right
Oh my
there.
God, my wife was like, what in the hell, Abe? You're going to get murdered.
Yeah, she
You know?
literally told me, she's like, next time you risk your life for the boat motor. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So
I've done way worse.
It's all for the cause, man.
Yeah.
definitely not a dude, you know, I don't like to judge a book by its cover, but I judge this one pretty hard. He was definitely not a boatman. So I get to his storage unit, and I was like, you know what, I bet this guy, on the way over there, I was like, I bet this guy's buying storage units and selling the shit out of them. And
Yeah.
he just, because he had tons of other ads for just random shit,
Yeah.
right? Nothing of any, like he wasn't like, I do this, you know?
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, it's in the back of the storage shed, so can you help me, like, move the stuff out of the way? So I had to clear a path back there. I get back there, and I'm like, I'm like, man, this thing's, like, locked up, and,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, like, I don't know if I want to take this on.
You should have been charging him to dig away back there. You cleared a path for him.
Dude, so get this. So I say that, and he's like, okay, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you just take it? Because I need the room, and I don't care about it. Just get it out of here.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, fair enough. For
Yeah.
free, I'll take
Yeah.
I'll take this thing and look
Yeah.
at it. So, get it. I also was like, okay, well, I'm out nothing now. So
Yeah.
I knew this other guy who was selling some motors, and I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and just still get another motor just to have a backup. Because
Yeah.
this thing is going to take, you know, forever
Right.
to run.
Right. Time is money now.
Time is money, exactly. So I get that motor. That motor doesn't run either, but it's like in way better condition, you know, and it's like very close to running.
He's like,
think
no,
it is.
no, it wasn't.
We just got to get the pull cord thing. I think we're going to be good.
Did you get that pull cord thing?
No, I'm going
Like-
to.
Yeah.
The only thing that starts this motor is a pull cord. The pull cord does not touch the gear to engage to actually run the pull cord.
So this is like the old school. You gotta like wind it around it.
No,
and
it's
pull?
not even. It's just
No.
like he gave me the wrong pull cord off of it.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Our Ted Williams is pretty much
Yeah.
that because the spring's broken out.
Yeah, so you have to run it
but it's attached still.
Yeah.
I feel you guys. I feel like right now I'm being transported back like
Yeah.
5 years ago. 4 years ago I started mud motors. Like 5 years ago, I was like trying to just rig anything
Get it
that
to go.
propelled my boat towards the ducks.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want, you know. And so
That's
So
so funny.
we got home. So I got home that night. Jordan came over to the house, and we were like, let's get this Ted Williams up and running. So the guy
Yeah.
was like, it's 15 horse. So like
Well,
we found a
I
part
pulled
number.
it and it sputtered enough where I was like,
Oh yeah.
this thing has life in it. She
Yeah,
has
there's
life in
something there,
her.
Yeah.
And I immediately was like, it's the carburetor.
That's always that. Oh, there's another beer right there.
Thanks,
like
sir.
it. Thank you.
Yeah, it sputtered and ran, and we spent all night. So we were
Yeah.
supposed to get up
Yeah.
and go hunt at 3 o'clock in the morning. We were deer hunting, right? So
Yeah.
we were like, okay, we're going to go hunt. And we had the two of us, we had our buddy Gavin and our buddy Austin. So there were 4 of us that were going to go. And so I didn't want to drag everybody and have everybody with a 50-pound thrust trolling motor.
Yeah.
But So we were like trying to get this thing running, and we get it running, and it just run for a little bit and then stop, and run for a little bit and then stop, run and stop, and we just could not get it to work. And here comes 2 o'clock, like 1 o'clock. Here comes 2 o'clock.
Yep.
And we're like, all right, dude, we have to literally be getting up in an hour to go hunt. Like, let's just, 30 more minutes. Now it's 2:30, and it's like, all right, just shut it down. We're not getting this thing to run today.
That's so,
We got the batteries, we got the trolling motor, we're going to just hook it up and go.
Yeah.
It was a sight to behold. We had a 14-foot John boat with 3 guys in it and gear, a kayak tied to the back of the John boater with a guy in it, and then a kayak tied to the back of his kayak with more gear in it.
Redneck.
Yes. The train.
I
think it's on the social media.
It is on the social media, but it was a night. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just a ridiculous ass setup.
That is so funny. But that's it, man. I mean, we've all been there, and I don't care how much money you have now or what's the nicest setup you've got right now. We have all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been like up till 3 a.m. and we're like, I gotta leave in 30 minutes to go hunting.
Right.
Trying to get this thing going.
Yeah. I have countless nights. Like I'm like, tonight's gonna be a good night. We're gonna be in bed by 10, 10:30. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, give it yourself 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like on my 4th pot of coffee. I'm like, I'm going hunting. I've already spent this much time in it. I'm going. It's happening.
I gotta go.
We don't cop out when it comes to that.
No.
And we sat in a deer stand, and I fought falling asleep because I wasn't. I had a harness and everything on, but it was not like.
I'm just completely laughing right now because I've not been deer hunting down here in Texas yet, and it's deer hunting in a stand is different, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a newbie. I'm a 100% newbie on that, and I don't know. I don't know. It's different.
It is, yeah. You can't really. Not that we haven't seen some dudes doing the spot stock thing, and that thing seems to be like
you couldn't do it here though. Like it's not the same as up in the mountains, and when you're up in the mountains, you got snow and you got ridges. You can find deer, and you gotta, tactically kind of go around the ridges and kind of get in front of them. But here in Texas, man, it's all private land, and you can't. Yeah. You're not going to stalk anything here.
No, and it's just so thick too. Where the public land that we've got is just. With the exception of places like out in West Texas, you're dealing with just bottoms, river bottoms. And so you've got just no real place to go and find them.
To me, it's a unique, different type of hunting, but I've never done it, so I don't even know where to start. I wouldn't even know how to jump into it. Mm-hmm. But no, that's cool. It's different. But the all-nighters and stuff like that. I know it. You're invested. You're gonna go. Doesn't matter how duct taped together this trip is gonna be. You're going.
It was pretty miserable.
It was.
We had the mountain ops just flowing like.
Oh
water.
my God! Like we drank so much mountain ops that day.
Yeah.
Because then we had a party afterwards.
Oh, God.
Because this is the night of the McGregor fight.
Yeah. So I had people over at my house for the McGregor fight, and oh my God.
And I was vodka and Mountain Ops flowed.
We were drinking vodka.
Choice.
Oh my God, just Mountain Ops and vodka. But,
basically an energy drink. Super energy drink.
Wow.
Exactly.
How could you can you hold a scope on a bead on that? Like I'd be shaking all over the place.
Yeah. I wasn't too bad.
Stuff.
Yeah,
I've got some experience.
Yeah,
with some,
exactly.
Sandbag that gun down.
Exactly. But yeah, we're bow hunters, and so it's even more of a, But we often don't see a lot of deer when we go out, just because that's the way it is in the nature of the game. So, so you just kind of deal with that, but still fun. We got down and we ended up fly fishing, which is a hardcore addiction for us right now. So.
I grew up fly fishing. Yeah. I love it. It's an absolute passion.
Yeah.
I haven't done it much down here. People say they bass fish down here with it.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it. But
that's what we're doing.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta go. You gotta have to teach me.
Yeah. Well, it's
teach me the bass side of it. You guys use streamers or what?
I use some Clouser minnows. We were using little popper frogs.
Okay. Yes.
And I've gotten I got heavy into that addiction. If anybody who follows us on social media will see that I have a hardcore fly tying addiction. So I made a little frog, little popper frog, and caught a couple bass on that. It was a lot of fun. I mean, that's nothing more. There's nothing better than catching a fish on a fly rod with a fly you tied. So.
With a fly is one. That's a great accelerant right there to your life. But then something you made yourself. That just takes it to another level.
So we were just using that. You can use streamers and little clouds or minnows. I really like to try to tie some crawfish. Because that's a huge favorite of bass down here. But
kind of run them like a streamer, kind of just give them a little jig.
Exactly. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, I've gotten to where I don't even take a regular rod out with me anymore. And I love to crappie fish, so I just still take the fly rod and crappie fish with that. Just so it's great, because it's got that long rod. I can stick out towards little covers, places with cover, and just kind of jig with it. Which is weird jigging with the fly rod, but that's all a crappie rod really is a 10-foot fly rod essentially.
That's so funny about the fishing and stuff. People start associating these mud motors and stuff like the duck hunting and all that, but bow fishing. I would go bow fishing with one of these things in a heartbeat. I've never. So you guys said you bow hunt. Man, I would love to shoot a bow. That's the one thing I've never done.
Hang out a little more, man. And now you're getting right into my category of bow fishing. Bow fishing is super fun.
So you take one of these boats, man, and you go up into places where people have not been. In the middle of summertime. Okay, so the thing with these mud motors, most people take them off in the spring. They come off your boat around March, February, March, somewhere there, and they put their outboard back on. Once your outboard goes back on, you're not going to go back up in the swamps and the sticks and all that. So if you keep your mud motor on, or if you've got a dedicated duck boat, keep that mud motor on there and go up there, and you're going to be up in an area where no one else is going, especially that March, April, May, when all the rain is coming in Texas. All the lakes are flooded, but nobody in their right mind is running an outboard up in that. You can run right up there like nothing happened. Right over the logs, over the sticks or stumps, and go up there. And
right now you can run up into, on Joe Pool, you can run up into the actual park.
Dude.
I mean, it is flooded everywhere.
It's ridiculous. This has been crazy. I think on the 17th, I heard that we had more rain through the first 17 days than any other time in recorded weather history.
It's
ridiculous.
It's nuts.
And it's coming again. It's going to be here on Wednesday again, I think.
I had to play musical boat trailers at my place today, and I have a mud pit where all my trailers were. I had to pull them all around because it's been raining so much. I had to do something. Now I have a mud pit, but I got them all out now. We're good.
You got them squared away.
It would have been a national emergency if duck season was approaching already, and
you don't
my boat stuck in the backyard. Nope.
No, can't have that.
I'll pay for the house to be sodded. We'll put new grass in next year.
Exactly.
Got it.
I'll put some seed down, and we'll be done with this damn thing. So you'd said you from Idaho, Montana. So,
I grew up in Boise, and about midway through high school, I moved out to Montana, and so I grew up hunting. I've been hunting and fishing and everything all my life.
We want to go up there pretty badly.
Let's do it.
Where
do you want to go? What do you want to shoot?
Elk? I want to shoot an elk really badly.
You want to shoot a bear?
My wife.
Yes.
You want to shoot a bear? I'm down. I haven't bear hunted in a long time.
I would love to shoot a bear. My wife would kill me if I shot a bear.
Oh, why?
She's not a fan of the bear shooting. She's like, no, there's no reason for that. I'm like, I really want to try bear ham.
Bear's good in a stew. They're kind of a tough meat. But stews and stuff like that, roast, man, they're good.
So that brings us to sous vide.
Sous vide.
Like sous vide is made for those kind of cuts.
Oh wow,
tough cuts.
Enlighten me. I don't even know what
sous
that is.
vide?
You don't know what sous vide is?
No.
Oh man, see, we need Grinch here.
Grinch is our sous vide.
Grinch is missing out on his pod. This is the podcast.
This is his podcast.
Shout out to Grinch
basically
right now.
what a sous vide is like you put whatever meat you're going to cook in a bag, I think the best way to do is to actually vacuum seal it in a bag. And basically you're cooking it in water. And it's a set temperature. So like say you want your meat to come out at 130 perfect.
Okay.
Right? So that's where you want it, medium, you know, or rare, whatever you want. And you set your temperature of the water to that, and you can leave it in that water for as long as you want. So you could super low roll the meat at like a low temperature, but the perfect temperature, and it'll keep it at that. So when you pull it out, you'll just be at like rare, medium rare, you know, medium, whatever you want. And then you take it out of the bag, and then you throw it on the grill, give it a little sear, both sides. Good to go, and you have the perfect steak or perfect meat or roast.
I gotta check this out. And for bear, that'd be fantastic because bear turns out either really dry or tough. So that's why I like stews if they keep it hydrated.
Right.
But that sounds like it would keep it
There's
hydrated.
no way. Like that's the thing. You really, it's not. I guess it's not technically impossible, but it's virtually impossible to overcook something.
Yeah.
Like you can't do it. Like it's just.
They're talking the other day. So today I've been binge listening to Meat Eater.
Yeah.
And they've been talking about it more on that, and they were talking about cooking things for like 36, 48 hours and stuff like that.
Wow.
So.
And what I want to try is what they were doing, which is this guy took he cooked steaks in a sous vide.
Yeah.
And then took like a propane torch.
Yep.
And seared the outside of it, crusted it up.
Yes.
Give it a little crust.
But it's a French style. The French are the ones that developed this, and it's a little device that looks pretty much like this beer glass.
Yeah.
Or one of those little like hand mixers. It looks probably more like that, and it just goes into a bath of water, and you can cook in a cooler. You can cook in,
that is wicked. That's cool.
The one Grinch has, you can control. It is controlled by Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
so it connects to Wi-Fi.
You could be on your way home and be like, I'm about to leave the station.
Yeah.
And you get your phone. You're like, start cooking. I'll be home in 10 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And it'll just do its thing on the counter.
Exactly.
Wow, man.
While you're on your way
so
home.
he just takes. He'll take a plastic. You can just cook in plastic or a big pot. He'll take a pot and vacuum seal his meat. You can put spices in there and stuff like rosemary, different things that'll impart flavor. But he takes that and he sticks that in water with ice, and then just lets it sit there. And then he'll start cooking it around lunchtime. And then by the time he gets home, he cuts open the thing, sears it, and he's got a steak perfectly cooked.
Wow.
It's really
one of the best deer steaks I've ever had. Grinch cooked for me at his house in a sous vide.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That's cool. I gotta look into this now. I'm hooked.
They're not really that expensive either.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get. I think the one that he got was like $150.
Around $100.
Yeah, $100.
$100, $200 for depending on how crazy you want to get. You want Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, all it.
That's
all
crazy.
Stuff.
Bluetooth. Yeah, that's cool.
But that's. I mean, it's just a really neat way of doing it. And you can do all kinds of things with it. So.
Yeah.
How did we get on that rabbit trail?
I don't really think that was a rabbit trail.
No, that wasn't a rabbit trail.
That's just good advice for everybody.
Yeah, sous vide is the way to go. What were we talking about? Bears.
Yeah, we went from like where I was from to deer hunting, elk hunting, bear hunting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess that did count as a rabbit trail. Okay.
This is what our podcast is.
That's how my brain works.
Should be the Stormwater Creek Rabbit Trail.
Yeah. Hey, it's outdoors, man. We're just like, oh yeah.
So no bear hunting for me right now. I told my wife it's happening. She's just gonna have to get over it. But
Whitney just doesn't want me to be on the ground
with a bear,
bow hunting, bear hunting, and that's what I want to do. I want to be face to face with a bow.
Yeah.
Getting it.
Yeah.
Well, for $150, you can go to Arkansas and black bear hunt as a non-resident. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
That covers for $150. You get a duck. You get your duck license.
Yeah.
You get deer license. You get a turkey license, and you get a bear license for $150 in Arkansas. And you can be there in 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
From here.
I think that's definitely for next year. I want to duck hunt Arkansas bad.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
So, how does that work if you've got a boat? Can you just take your out-of-state boat up there?
I don't know.
Yeah, most places. I know on Missouri side of it, my parents got a place at the lake there, and their boat's all registered and titled here in Texas, and they can take it up there, and it can only be up at their residence up there for 60 days.
Okay.
After 60 days, obviously the game wardens all have to notice that it was here on X day, and 60 days later it's still here.
Yeah.
So then they would have to I guess they would kind of push them towards registering it up there or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, if you're going to run up to another state or whatever with your boat, as long as it's currently registered and all that, I think you're good. Now, you'd have to check with individual states, but
Right.
typically, once you're registered in one state and the boat's everything's current and you're good with it, if you're going up for a weekend or a week trip or something like that, you're fine.
I mean, it really makes sense to me.
It's like
you
a
take your
driver's
car
license.
all over the place. Does it really matter where it's registered as
No.
long as it's actually registered somewhere?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's people here in Texas that take their speedboats out to what's the big lake over? Is it Arizona or whatever? Somewhere. Havasu. They go to Lake Havasu all the time. They go from here, so they'll go up there for
I'm
a
really
weekend or a
impressed
week.
you know that.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but I was really impressed.
He's dropping down some locations here. Bam.
Well, I like geography.
Yeah.
I just know that's the place where everybody takes their boat out. It's like the Salt Flats.
Yeah.
Take your boat out and race it on Havasu, right?
Yeah. You've seen so many Discovery Channel, Lake Havasu.
Exactly.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's been trying to watch smart TV.
It's smart. But yeah, that's my goal is next year, Arkansas.
Yeah.
We're going to Oklahoma this weekend, so
Nice.
yeah, so Oklahoma for deer. Brandon and I are heading up there for the weekend, so
Nice.
And that's where all those pictures he's been sending in are, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma's a completely different, it's amazing that it's that close to us and it is so different.
Really?
Yeah.
So I've been up there a little bit, but I haven't really explored it all that much.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Shit, you can hunt elk in Oklahoma.
Can you really?
Yeah.
That's so weird. 'Cause I'm being from Montana, I'm seeing elk up in the peaks and on the ridges and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all I'm where are they, on the farm or
Yeah. So it's amazing that in Oklahoma you've got a huntable elk population, and in Arkansas you have a huntable elk population. And here's the thing, right? So with the $150 you get when you
Isn't
get
that weird looking?
Yeah, that's so weird looking.
Spike.
yeah, unicorn.
Yeah, little.
So with the $150 license you get from Arkansas,
Yeah.
there are 6 counties that are elk habitat where you cannot do this. But if you see an elk in one of the other counties that's outside of that elk preservation area, those 6 counties up there,
range.
then you can shoot an elk
That's wild.
for $150. I could not believe it. I called the Arkansas Fish and Game and was like, there's no way I'm reading this correctly.
Yeah.
And they're like, yep, you're reading that correctly. You
That's
can
wild.
go hunt an elk for $150 in Arkansas. Now, you're probably not going to see one.
Yeah.
But if you're up around those counties,
Yeah.
you never know. Maybe
That's
wander around.
Little
And,
wander.
yeah. And all of a sudden you
So-
shot a $150 elk
Yeah.
3 hours from Texas.
I wonder what's their body size versus up
don't know.
north. 'Cause, deer down here.
Are small.
I've hit bugs bigger than some of
Yeah.
them.
They're very
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
The further south you get,
They'll
it's
bulk
all
back
has to do with the weather. So since we
Yeah.
don't get very cold, the deer don't have to bulk up. So the size of deer in Texas aren't actually as big
Yeah.
because the smaller body, the cooler they stay.
Yeah. That makes sense.
From what I've understood from
Yep.
No, it
reading
makes total
things.
sense. In Montana, whitetail up there is way bigger than the whitetail down here.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different state altogether when you look at deer and you're like, oh my god, it's like a dog.
Yeah.
But we pump them full of protein and the racks get huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
exactly.
Just keep feeding them all year. It's on a
Exactly.
schedule too,
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Some of those places are just crazy to see some of these deer,
Oh man.
One of my, I was driving into my duck blind, or where I launched my boat for duck hunting one time, and the biggest deer I've ever seen in my life was run down there. And I talked to some friends later, and I guess there's a high fence near there.
Yeah.
And they were literally, oh yeah, he got out.
Oh, yeah.
He got out of that high fence.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, it's how'd you be a hunter that day, run into that guy?
Oh, my God.
Who got out of the high fence?
And you were just
oh, look at him. There he is.
Dude, my dad called me one time, and he owns a little bit of property down in the hill country, and he was talking about, he was like, I'm looking out the front window, and there's some black buck antelope sitting in the front pasture. I'm like, well, shoot them. They're exotics. I mean, like, they're on your property. I mean, like, you could just take them. And he's like, I don't know, maybe they'll stick around. I'm like, they're not going to stick around. Just they got out somewhere from one of those big old ranches around that area. And
like, you drive around down there, and you just see, like, all kinds of exotics now.
Oh, yeah.
Like the black bucks and stuff like that, they're just free range at this point. Axis, all that shit is free range basically down there now.
Texas has a draw hunt for exotic animals.
I mean,
like, you don't have exotic hunts unless they get out of their cage.
Exactly. I mean, a huntable population of nilgai exists in South Texas, you know?
Yeah, that's the King Ranch.
Yeah. The Laguna Costa, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
You get down there and hunt, which we've been wholeheartedly, miserably unsuccessful when it comes to draw hunts this year. The only thing we have left, we have some draw hunts that are pending a second draw. Everything else is done. And we've got a couple e-postcard waterfowl hunts that we may still be able to draw.
Is the bighorn hasn't been drawn
It's
yet.
drawn.
It's drawn?
Yep.
There's a deer right there off of that high fence where I seen that buck
Oh
on
my
the edge.
God.
That's a buddy of mine darted that one so he could take his blood. It's like, pick one of those ranches that does all that.
I don't even think that's like points. I just think that's like
Just a mass.
Yeah, I mean, like
horns.
this
Mass.
doesn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's incredible.
That deer right there is just darted.
Look at those shoulders.
But that's off that ranch. And I told you, I was like driving the border around it, going to my duck place, and I was chasing. One of those deer, those bucks, is in front of me, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like,
Look at that thing.
yeah,
That's why you bow hunt.
yeah,
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud?
yeah. That's why you do it.
Yeah. But, man, we'll have to get you, we'll definitely have to get you out and do some bow hunting. Are
Yeah,
you left-handed or right-handed?
I am right-handed.
Okay.
Perfect.
Man,
Perfect. You're a good person.
I'm a candidate, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
two of
There's some of these people that have deals with the devil.
of us are left-handed, or I'm right-handed but left-eye dominant, so I shoot a left-handed bow. And
So is Grinch.
so does Grinch.
Do you walk forward or backwards all the time?
Exactly.
What is-
This is you
Yeah,
say
why don't
you're
you
gonna
get your-
fit
why don't you get your mind right?
yeah.
fit in with this kid over here.
He's not even
You
cross-eyed.
know what's funny is my wife and my daughter are both right-handed and left-eye dominant. And
Wow.
like, it is the most frustrating thing to try to teach a 7-year-old how to shoot a bow.
Yeah.
That's completely opposite of the way you shoot a bow.
Yeah.
And you have to like think about it.
Yeah.
It's just this instead of this.
It's still weird.
No.
It's different.
I can shoot both left-handed and right-handed though.
Yeah, but I know which side. Like, I mean, there's just a lot of things that like I'm like, do you put the arrow which side? Like, you got to think about it for a second.
I never have to think about it.
I see some straw bales in my backyard in the near
but see,
future.
well, hang on. You're thinking about
That's the
like
thing.
compound. She didn't shoot compound. Like
Oh,
traditional
she's a
archery.
recurve, yeah.
Like, you got to think about like which side do you rest the arrow on.
That's true.
Like,
That's true.
I know which side I do, but like,
Yeah.
it would be the
Yeah,
opposite.
that'd be total flipping it around. That'd be weird.
Yeah, you got to flip things. Like the bow's not set up that way.
Yeah, it's like fly fishing, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that's just like it's such a rush to be that close to animals.
Yeah.
And it opens up so much hunting for you here in the state.
Yeah.
Anywhere
It really
around here,
does.
you don't have. You've got the grasslands, LBJ and Caddo grasslands. You
Yep.
can rifle hunt.
Yep.
But outside of that, everything else is bow only.
Bow are the ones that are bow? Are they muzzleloader as well?
No.
There's a couple of
So-
places that you
There-
can rifle on,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know what they are off the top of my head.
Yeah. Most of them are bow only,
Yeah.
so which is great because it limits the amount of people who are going to be out there in the first place.
Yeah.
And those rifle spots, they get hammered.
Yeah.
Hammered.
Oh, I
So-
bet. I'd be nervous, man, to go out there. Like, I love the public lands and stuff. Like, I wish we had more. I came from states that had so much to coming down here. And, no, I mean, I'd be a little nervous. Just so many people out there with rifles that don't know what they're doing. And And it's not. There's nothing wrong with not knowing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But ask questions. Go to places and ask, like, how do I do this? How do I do that? But the downside is like some of those places, they'll kind of like treat you like you're not
You're
the
an
same.
idiot.
Yeah. It's, and that kind of sucks because they're wanting to do the right thing. They're not wanting to go out there and be wrong about doing it. But nobody will give them the time of day. And so they end up out there on that same land that we're on hunting, and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're looking for. That goes into duck hunting, goes into deer hunting, all that. I've been on the open lands, the public lands with duck hunting where guys are shooting at ducks at 100 yards above them, and it's like,
what are you doing?
You're doing nothing but educating the duck.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing is teaching them, and then you're peppering everybody else around you with shot.
Yeah.
So, some probably wouldn't want the advice, but there's probably a lot, man, that would love to know.
I just can't imagine growing up, like being like somebody who'd be my age right now, or even younger, who didn't grow up in a family that hunts, doesn't really just was like, man, I really like to do this,
Yeah.
Like, how the hell would you even get started? I mean, that's to me is one of those challenges that,
and there's not a lot of education to it if you don't, like if your dad or your uncle or somebody didn't bring you up into it, then you're just going to go to an academy and buy everything on the shelf that says it's for this, and whatever, and you're going to, you got to look like the newbie at the register going out, but, and unfortunately you're going to have to learn somewhere, but it's unfortunate that some of the senior people that are doing it aren't as open to teaching other people. They kind of have that mentality of looking down upon you and stuff about what you're doing. So that's a bummer.
So
we talk about that kind of stuff a lot. And,
really?
And it is unfortunate. Like, people that don't have the mindset of getting new people in there, or like making fun of somebody that doesn't know.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing this for a long time. I've had people tell me, like, what are you doing? Like, why would I want to try something new?
Yeah.
I don't know if it works because I never tried it. I was told to do it this way a long time ago.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't I try something different? Like a different spread, or putting different decoys out in the water. Like, will it work? I don't know.
Try something different.
Do you know if it works or not? Have you ever tried it? If not, don't make fun of me to be like, hey, I tried that one time.
Yeah.
It didn't really work for me.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't it work?
It's and there's times too I go out with guys who they hunt all the time. They hunt more than I do at it. And I've been duck hunting all my whole life. And I got out there with guys who are, they're pretty much guides. And I watch them do stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't do it that way. And then I watch them, and it doesn't work. And before the end of the day, they're out there moving stuff around, and it comes down to is even with all their experience, sometimes it doesn't matter. It's just the birds aren't flying that way. The wind's not flying that way, or the wind's not blowing that day. It's just, it's half on luck. So, if you're a newbie coming into it, just,
do it.
Go put them out there. Just see what the birds are doing. That's the biggest thing I do. Even now, with my experience that I do have, I watch birds. I go out there and watch how are they forming up, how are they sitting in the water. When I go put my spread on the water and stuff like that, like, I'll sit back and watch some birds land in my gear. Like, see where they're going. Where are they wanting to go in my decoys? And there's times where in the middle of it, I'll shift over to where I'm positioned, reposition myself, or I might go and move my decoys around because I've had decoys that they're wanting to land on.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they want to land on those decoys. So I'll shift decoys into their position and pull those out. We got a little selfie here.
A little picture.
Yes. So, and I'll shift them around a little bit so that, I'll put those decoys that they wanted to be on, a little more optimal for my shooting range.
Yeah.
And it worked, but you just don't know, man.
No, I mean, I think it's about making mistakes and, learning from those mistakes, and that's really all it is,
It is. Every time you go out, man, you picked up a little more info from the last time you did it. So, just go back out the second time, third time, 20th time, whatever, and all you're doing is just building a little bit more on it.
Yeah, you're just adding to the database. That's my thing. We just try to walk out with something every single time, right?
Yeah.
If it's ducks, if it's a deer, if it's a pig, great. But if it's, just some, hey, I learned how to do this a little bit better, that is just as good, know? And
exactly.
You just kind of keep growing and expanding that base. But,
just enjoy it, man. You're out there. man, you're out in the middle of Mother Nature. You're out doing what, people hundreds of years before us were trying to do. And look at the technology, everything we have to do it now. There's no reason to complain, and it's just enjoy it.
Go out and have a good time.
Yeah, I go out with the dog, man. The dog, I can sit there and hunt all day long and not shoot and just watch the dog. It's incredible.
We are going to enjoy that this year.
Yeah,
we finally got a dog.
You got a dog? How old is it? Boy or girl?
Boy.
All right, how old?
It's actually Grinch's. It's a year and a half.
Yep.
Year and a half? Okay.
2 years.
Yeah, good age.
He just spent
He's super awesome.
6 months at duck school.
All right.
It's probably actually 2 now, because I think Grinch got him at a year and a half.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's 2. I think he's about 2.5.
I think that's about the ages. 2 is about when I didn't want to abandon my lab out there. My first year I had my lab, we didn't do any formal training. We didn't do anything specific. Kind of did the retrieving. He knew how to bring something back to me. But we went on a hunt on the grasslands. I think it's grasslands or whatever. It's something out there, very public land. And went with a guy, and man, we had a group come by, and we dropped so many ducks. And I was just like, oh my God, my dog's not gonna pick these up. I'm like, this sucks. He picked them all up, blind retrieved everything. First year on the water.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, man, I got a stud. This dog is it. I got the best dog in the world. I think it was 2 weeks later, I went out duck hunting, and I'm out there, and I'm set up, and I got a couple mallards come through. I dropped them, and I think I had 3 ducks in the water, 2 or 3 ducks in the water. I sent him out, and he literally, pranced through the water, got to the first one, smelled it, and he looked at me. He goes to the next one, smells it, and then he tears off. He's out through the woods smelling and peeing on everything, and I was like, oh my God, I was so mad. So I was like, I love that dog to death, but that was one day there was a thought in the back of my head of put him in the adoption center. Sit him at the fire station, in the front porch, just ring the doorbell and leave.
I wonder what number 4 shot will do to this dog.
Yeah. So that was year 1, man, and he was brand new. But year 2, man, we spent the summer. Some people don't like it, but I found force fetching was such a huge breakthrough for him, and he picked it up immediately. I didn't feel like I was having to push him on it. It was literally, he caught it up the first 2 times that we did the pinch or anything. He was on it immediately.
Yeah.
That dog now will pick up, you tell him to pick anything, and he'll pick up anything. And he'll bring it back to you, and he'll sit there and hold it. He won't drop it. He'll sit there. He now hunts with another dog of mine, another buddy of mine's dog. They'll sit on the stand together. He's got his command. She has her command. That dog won't get off that stand until you tell him that specific command. Yeah. You can send her off, and he'll stay there. That dog's 4 years old. Yeah. So, yeah, man, dogs, to me, that's about taking kids. If I had kids, I'd take them out and just enjoy watching the kids hunt, watching their lives light up to it. Yeah. And with the dog, that's all I have. So watching the dog out there and watching him light up, 10 minutes, 15 minutes before shooting light, he's watching already. His head's staring up, and I can see him. He's tracking birds. Yeah. And he is just...
Shoot that one, Dad. Shoot that one. Shoot that one. Shoot that one.
How mad does it look at you when you miss?
Oh, man. He's... yeah, he gets pretty disgusted. He's actually left one time. He left me. There was somebody else further down in the shallows. They were shooting at birds, and I didn't have any birds over mine. He left. He went and hunted with them for the afternoon.
He's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Good luck.
He literally retrieved their birds
you're
for him.
a dick.
Yeah. So, but no, he's good, man.
Could you imagine just sitting there duck hunting? You don't have a dog. All of a sudden, a dog walks up and
just like heels right there, ready to go.
Shoot it. You're like, oh my God, he's going to get my ducks.
Yeah. Well, this is a first.
Yeah. This worked out well.
It's always the first to second hunt. There, he's always it's like breaking the cherry again. Every year. So I'm expecting this year he'll probably run off chasing some winged duck for 20 or 30 minutes. Yeah. He'll come back exhausted, not want to hunt for the rest of the day. But it seems like that's the one time, and then the rest of the season he's on point.
You got to get him worn out a little bit.
Yeah.
Ducks, man.
I can't wait, dude. In fact, I meant to say this at the very beginning, is that we're probably going to get a bunch of duck hunting podcasts going on now, because all I can think about right now is duck hunting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm super stoked that deer season's on right now, but I can't wait for duck season.
Yeah.
Like I have to become a true duck hunter. Like
I'm gonna get y'all out. I get my new boat in a couple weeks. I'm gonna take y'all out. We're gonna go cruising around. We'll take maybe Ray Roberts somewhere.
Yeah.
Ray Roberts is one of
Ray Roberts is one of our stomping grounds.
yeah. Ray Roberts is one of those lakes that if you don't have some type of this type of motor,
We can tell you that.
very nervous about going and flying through that lake. And the very first morning I ever had a mud motor, the surface drive, and I'm used to putting through there with an outboard.
Yep.
Putt through, hit a stump, kind of bump around it, keep going. First morning, 25 miles an hour through the pitch black, flying through it, hitting stumps, hitting everything that was in the water. No care in the world.
Yeah.
So I'll take you out. We'll go riding with it, and we'll be bouncing the boat off things on the bottom and everything. And no cares. Just go.
Let's do it.
I like that, man. I'm down. I'm down with that, man.
I'm down with that.
We'll go for a joyride.
You take us out. We'll take you out deer hunting. How's that?
Yeah. Show me the reins on the bow.
Yeah. It's we got a couple right-handed bows. Well, you got one. Two. Well, I guess Brandon's right-handed too.
Yeah.
Hey, man, this is popping a cherry. You're gonna have to we're gonna have to find my draw and everything because I don't know what my draw is like. That's the only thing I know about bow hunting is I have a draw length.
Yeah.
And I got to learn that. That's it. I got to figure out what not
That's all
learn,
you
but I
need to
got
know.
to
That's all you need
measure.
to know.
That's actually it. Like what you find drawing.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Everything else
fact that
falls
you
in
can
place.
shoot that in your backyard is awesome. You know.
Yeah.
And we'll take you out. We'll do the 3D thing if it ever dries up again.
Yeah.
There's a place in Fort Worth where you're neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Cinnamon Creek Ranch.
Yeah, we're supposed to go out 3D shooting for Grinch's wedding for the bachelor party,
Oh, yeah.
but everything's flooded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So
Because shooting 3D is a lot of fun.
we told them we were gonna bring a boat and do the kayaks and just shoot them. They said
They were like,
and that's
no.
nothing's standing up. So much mud, everything's falling over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have like 50 targets that you can. I think it's 26 targets, and you walk station to station, and they've got like all kinds of,
That's wild.
It's like golf, but actually
it's
fun.
yeah,
Yeah. You know, something I want to look into is with these
very good.
with these mud motors, I want to find out how I go up Ray Roberts is actually one your stomping ground. So when I follow that creek and go up further up that river that goes up there,
Yeah,
I've seen so many hogs. I mean,
Yeah.
hogs in the water, all over the place.
If you ask if it's legal,
Can you go after those? That'd be, I mean,
as long as you're below the low water mark,
yeah.
you're good.
Last year was the lowest year I've ever seen these lakes around here.
Yeah,
Duck hunting was actually the worst I've ever seen last year. I'm not gonna lie. I think I went 4 or 5 times, and I just was like, forget it.
yep.
done.
We had the same experience on Ray Roberts last year.
Really?
Like we, let's just say we might not be hunting Ray Roberts this year.
Yeah, I did not shoot a single duck on Ray Roberts. I went out one time.
We
where I
shot
went
some.
out-
You almost did.
I almost shot one.
Yeah, I would say I almost did. I actually it was the first time in my life I fell asleep in the blind. I set a blind up. I was on, and I've never hunted the body of Ray Roberts. Because I have the mud motor now, I'm always excited to go up where no one else goes,
Yeah.
up in the middle of nowhere. Well, there was none of that. It was all dried up. So I was hunting down on the main bodies, kind of find a slough or something. And I actually fell asleep in the blind. I fell asleep. Yeah, I did. I heard him crying. I heard my dog, Bentley. Bentley's my chocolate lab. I heard him crying, and I was like, I kind of woke up, look up, and there was a couple ducks in the lay, and they were kind of swimming away. I think they'd heard me probably snoring.
Yeah,
So they're like,
It's
that
like-
bush is growling. I'm leaving.
yeah. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst though. Is falling asleep in the blind and be like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what time is it?
Yeah. But, when it goes back to the mud motors and stuff, the lakes are so open to people around here. You can go hunt almost any lake around, or I guess out of the metroplexes and everything. You can go hunt these lakes. You can go up there. There's all places to go. But if you don't have some type of access to get up there, you're not going to do it.
No.
And if you have an outboard, you're restricted to, just the main bodies and the sluice stuff where you can get the boat into. But if you've got a surface drive or a long tail, which a long tail, like we said, it's still an option. But if you've got any of those motors, you can now go further up the river. You can go up in the shallows. You can go places where nobody else can get to. And the thing is, and everybody else knows around here, around Texas, it's all private around the lake. So there's places where you can't walk into, but you can boat to it.
Yeah.
You can get in there. So that's a big deal about that, is it opens up. You don't have to just go to the public lands and walk in where everyone else is. These start to open up an avenue where you can get actually into a little area and hunt by yourself, hunt with your family, hunt with your kids. Not have to deal with somebody right on top of you.
Which is nice.
Yeah. For
Anytime
sure.
you can get away
Huge.
from people.
Yeah, huge. And I don't mind hunting with my buddies, but I don't really want to hunt where there's 35 other hunters all around me. Everybody's sky blasting at 100 yards up in the air.
Dude, I've been there.
Ooh. It's the worst. But it is upon us. We're like, what, 2 weeks away?
Well,
Yeah, November.
It's like
3rd?
11th, right?
5th?
3rd? 5th?
11th?
Something, I don't know.
First weekend, isn't it?
No.
Second weekend?
This year it's going to be November. Shit, not Onyx. My brain automatically hits Onyx. But you have this,
No, I don't.
the Outdoor Annual
Annual.
app. I'll support it for Texas Parks and Wildlife. The Outdoor Annual app gives you all your. It's pretty much your little book,
I like it.
but at a touch of a button.
Yeah.
So
The elusive goose, man.
Oh,
There's been some geese coming around where I'm at.
You're going to have to go up to Lake Meredith.
Really?
regular season
going-
for North Zone will be the 10th. I was gonna say the 9th,
Yeah.
but I knew that was wrong.
Yeah.
The 10th.
Yeah, Meredith is...
Excellent. I'll be just coming back that next week with my new boat.
South Zone's the 3rd,
Okay. That's what I keep hearing the first week.
and then High Plains has happened for the weekend, and then November 2nd
Yeah.
for High Plains. That's off the Outdoor Annual app.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're almost here, right?
Yeah, we are.
We have a lot of man. I thought we were gonna be good with sound in the background. I don't know how bad it's gonna pick up.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty powerful.
like as soon as we started the podcast, that's when football.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's how dumb I am on most sports.
Yeah.
I did not realize that football is even a thing right now.
It's hunting season.
Yeah.
Hunting season.
Hunting
Like
season.
all I do
Yeah.
is hunting. Like I'm what you call a man. Like I hunt.
Well, I mean, this is an evening. Most of our hunting is done in the morning. So by the time we take our nap, a couple beers in, we wake up and watch the game. It's kind of reviving ourselves at the end of the day. So this is kind of like we're off our norm right now.
I mean,
Exactly.
I'm 100% off my norm.
Yeah.
Season's upon us.
It is a season.
Yeah.
Season is upon us. Yeah, ducks. I'm looking forward to it. I think we've got a good spot, and we can fly fish afterwards.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We'll have to get you out and fly fish a little bit too.
Yeah. All of it, man.
Yeah.
I'm outdoorsy as all get out, man.
We need
Let's
to
do
meet
it.
our buddy Sean Polk from Tailwaters.
Yeah.
He'll get you hooked up with bass fishing.
What weight fly rod do you use?
8 weight.
8 weight.
Eight.
Okay.
You can use a 5 or 6 though, but
I've got a 4 and a 6. See, I mean,
Use
oh
6.
man, I could take. Now I want to take you to Montana or Colorado or something.
Yeah.
The 4 weight, you got a little tight stream, like
Yeah.
it's a little tiny. You get that 4 weight whipping around right there, tight
Yeah.
spot. Oh, yeah, and I'll get you on some streamers too.
yeah,
Streamer fishing is the best.
I'm trying to learn to time more streamers. I've been working a lot on grasshoppers,
Yeah.
and I've been doing a lot of frogs. Crappie jigs are my sickness.
Your
Yeah.
bread and butter.
My bread and butter is
Yeah.
a crappie jig.
Yeah.
But that's I basically just tie. My wife is just like, how many of these do you need?
Yeah.
I'm like, all of them. I need
Yeah.
some. I need to buy Walmart out of jig heads, and I
Just
tie
all of them,
Yeah. So
I think on our next one, I think we need to talk about like decoy spreads and stuff. I want to find out like I have my setups and stuff. I want to see what you guys do. I want to kind of put it together.
I throw ducks in a general area.
How many do you
That's
throw?
about it.
How many do you throw? What do you like to
I
throw?
mean, whatever I got,
Yeah.
whatever I decided to take with me.
It's funny. I have years where I have times, weeks, periods, one hunt maybe, where like I'll throw a lot, and that works. And I have other hunts where I've literally gone out and thrown 9, 10 in a mojo,
Yep.
and I've slayed them.
Mojos we definitely noticed having any kind of motion decoy.
Yes.
Like, definitely changed the
Yeah.
whole game.
Yeah. I know.
Which would be a game changer.
They went away. I haven't seen many of the decoys with the little submarine motor on them very often. I haven't seen many of those anymore, but I love those.
Yeah.
Because you put them out there by themselves, away from all the other decoys, but you just turn it on high, and that thing will go around, whip around in circles, and all they're looking for is a wake. That little duck out there is throwing a little wake around in circles, and they're all about it.
The one thing I wanted was they make I'm more of a mojo person, so I think they call it the lifting duck, or what do they call that? It's a duck flying off the water.
I think it's the only one they make, isn't it? All the mojos I've seen, they're all like, they're in that stance with their feet are down.
No, this one is half a duck coming off the water. The wings actually are close to the water.
Oh, wow.
So it like really kicks it up.
I've never seen that one.
Anything that you put motion on your spread, I think is like a jerk rig. If that's all you got, great. Like, you need some sort of motion.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially here in Texas.
Yep.
The problem with Texas is the ducks, when they get here,
they're
have
educated.
pretty much seen everything.
Yeah, they're absolutely educated.
Right.
And that gets us into a whole other calls. Like, I'm not the world's best caller. I can feeding call like no one's
suck
business.
at calling.
I can feeding call like no one's business. I can hail, and I can get some good quacks in there, and I have found more success. I've been out with some guys who really call well, and I've actually found more success with just being quiet. Little feeding call, like a little bit low tones. I make the duck come to me to hear it. Like, I'll get their attention out there, but I'll typically quiet it down right away. Like, shut it down, and I'll go right to, like, just feeding calls. It'll quack. Like, just kind of make it busy on the water right by me where they can't hear it. But, I mean, like I said, that goes back into that. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. But I found that, like, some of the bigger lakes where there's a lot more people, I'm more at a loss. Like, I'll try no calling. I'll try, calling quite a bit, or try hail call when they're going with their sky high and passing. And it kind of comes down to, I think they want to come down or they don't.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's pretty much hunting.
Yeah.
And we'll have to get
birds are just like deer and other animals. They don't commit suicide very often.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Well, man, I tell you, man, I've got a hunting hole where, I mean, the list of people that know where I hunt, you need a microscope to look at it, because it is
tiny.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Yeah.
I won't even tell my girlfriend. I'll just give her GPS coordinates. If I don't show up the next 2 days, this is where my body probably is.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not even the right ones.
Yeah. I might show up.
Yeah. Exactly. That's my wife. I'm just like, hey, if you haven't heard from me by this time, probably call Jordan.
Yeah.
He'll find me.
Yeah, I'm like, here's the boat ramp where I put in at, and just go north from there. That's you'll find my boat somewhere up there.
Yeah.
Something probably my lab will be hanging around wondering where I'm at. He'll get hungry.
He'll let you know.
Yeah. But no, up there where I'm hunting, I mean, I can play with the ducks. I actually have fun with them, and it seems like that's where some of this, you go back into what you buy, the motors on it. I get up where nobody's hunting. I typically get up there and I hear shotguns in the far, far distance. They are so far away. They're so far away that typically I hear all the gunfire in the morning.
Yeah.
And I drink some coffee and wait because those birds are coming.
Yeah.
They normally get rooted around, they pushed around the main body, and I literally can wait about 5 minutes. And within 5 minutes of all the shooting, I'll get several waves of birds come in.
Wow.
And they just got pushed off the body out there. And I've had them going by where they're passing, and I hail call, and I can literally see 2 or 3 of them turn their heads.
Yeah.
And once they turn their heads, I take it from a 9 or a 10, I take it right down. Immediately quiet it down. And those birds typically, if they want in somewhere, those 1 or 2 birds that turn their head will turn the rest of the group. Because they'll turn out. And once they turn out, the rest of the group will follow them.
Where are you going? Yeah.
But
somebody's eating down there. Let's go.
Yeah. So, but that gets me down to this newbies and ethics. If you got somebody who's working some birds, man, leave them alone. Let those guys work birds.
Yeah.
If they don't get the birds, trust me, they're looking for a place to land. If they don't land on his, they may come right over to yours.
Yeah.
And if you lay low and quiet, and he's on the call, they may decide they want the quiet one. They'll come over to you. Don't sky blast them.
Yep.
Don't mess up his hunt.
Just
because he's working birds, man. Leave him alone. You'll get your birds.
Agreed. I'm looking forward to it with those new calls, though.
What'd you get? You got new. I seen something on your post on your. You got some new calls.
We got
Yeah,
some
we did.
really badass calls. We're pro staff for a waterfowl company called Take 'em Waterfowl.
Okay. Yeah.
And they hooked us up with a guy whose name is. Hold on one second. What's
You
his
don't know
name?
this already?
I was not prepared for this.
Put him on the spot right now.
It's about that time anyways.
It's
God
first-
damn, it's loud in here.
It is
yeah,
so
it's
loud
just
in
getting
here.
louder and louder and
I'm
louder.
pretty sure
Have
they
you
just keep
noticed
turning it up.
Yeah.
It's First Flight Outfitters.
Yeah.
And they make some awesome duck calls.
I would absolutely love to blow on one of those. I'd get one.
I have it in the truck.
Really?
In fact,
Yeah.
I got my calls in my truck. So if you're a duck hunter listening to this, you need to keep your calls in your
Yeah.
truck
Yes.
from about August on, or better than that. But I've been blowing.
Yeah.
People think
my
I'm
wife doesn't
smoking
let
weed.
me blow calls
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
house.
People
I
drive-
gave my daughter calls. That was apparently a bad idea, according to my wife. I don't care, but it just sounds like a kazoo to me, running
Exactly.
around.
I keep my duck call in the car with me.
Yeah.
I also keep a turkey
Yep.
reed in the car.
Oh, yeah.
And
I just got good at the
Yeah.
mouth one this year.
Yeah, it's funny.
the way to
like,
do it.
Like
Yes,
everywhere you
absolutely.
look, they always tell you like you should be on your cell phone. Like I keep a box call in my truck.
yeah.
God, I could go off for like
Like that's probably way worse than a cell phone.
No
But
doubt.
it's not illegal.
Why are you not working on a reed call?
I love my box. Like I got my read call down, but I swear by my box call.
But you can't
Yeah.
shoot. I can call a turkey with both hands on my
Fuck,
gun.
man. Like I'm so original. That turkey's coming in with my box call, and I don't have to have
Yeah.
it in my hand.
That's true.
That's how I do.
I had the most epic turkey hunt this year. So I took a buddy out. We went hunting. I tried to give him some toms, and he literally was doing everything in the world. He's newbie. So I kept trying to tell him, like, you can't snack, you can't do that, because the moment you pick up a snack, they're coming in. So he missed several toms, and finally I was out on my own one day. I'm sorry, I'll take it back. I was lying. I was out with him one day, but he was in front of me with the gun, and I had some hens come up. And so this is a good learning point for anybody listening. These two hens came up, and they came within probably 4 or 5 feet behind me. I'm in full ghillie suit. They can't see me. But there's a really tight, like, hog wire fence between us. So I know they're not coming through. There's a couple toms behind them, but they're not interested. But these two hens came up, and they literally came within feet of me. And all I could do is sit there. I had a slate call. I have a mouth call and the slate. And I was on the slate, and I was trying to just duplicate them. And a buddy of mine had told me a long time, he's a big guy. He's a big turkey hunter. He knows what he's doing. He said that they're trying to overcome you. When that hen's talking to you and chattering, if she overcomes you, she's bigger, better, and the tom will stay with her. But if you can overcome her, then the tom's more interested in that other hen that maybe just out-talked her. And so I sat there with her behind two of them, and as they would scratch and they'd do their clucks at me, I would cluck right back and a little more. And we went back and forth. Man, I'm telling you, I went to this until I had carpal. I gave up. I was finally like, whatever. I can't do this anymore. It was 15 or 20 minutes with her feet behind me. I was looking at her eyes.
Yeah.
Literally looking at her eyes, and she just back and forth. She knew something was wrong with that bush, but she didn't care. Something was making noise beyond it. She was trying to overcome.
It's like it's coming from right here.
Yeah.
But there's nothing right here.
It was epic. And I mean, I have witnesses. I can actually that could vouch for this.
Calling turkeys in is so much fun.
It's
When you, like that's what I love about calling. Like I'm not good at any of it.
But
that's
it is
what
fun.
I want is that like whole like I turn the tides and called them to me.
Yeah. Well, that goes tied right back into like fly fishing. You know, you tie a fly, or even if you buy a fly, you know, you're throwing that out there, you're imitating something of nature. You're actually confusing the fish or the turkey or the duck or whatever into like, you're not just going out there and blindly just smacking it. You got it.
Yeah.
You know, you're actually going out there and you're playing a role in Mother Nature, and you're getting in close and personal. You know, you've put time into it to figure out how to call it to whatever you're doing. That's the fun of it. So I could go out and call ducks all day long and turn them off and be like, see ya. Like, I don't feel like cleaning a bird today. I'm good.
Yeah.
But just bringing them in is great.
I've been there.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you live today.
That was literally last year. There were so few ducks. The water was so low that I literally did not want to clean the one duck that came through. I was like, nope, I'm good.
I'm thinking it's probably going to be a good year. Just we've got all this water. It's probably going to be. It's supposed to be cold.
That's
a double-edged sword.
Yep.
That is a double-edged sword.
It
so
spreads them.
Well, what's going to happen is all these ranches have all these stock ponds, all these little bodies of water. So when they get pressured out there on the lake and on the swamps and the marshes and the rivers, they're going to go find where they're not getting shot at.
Yeah.
I've literally been driving home from my duck hunt that day, and I've seen ponds around ranches that are like, there's 30, 40 ducks on them, each one.
Yeah.
It's just they're packed. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
Because nobody's shooting at them.
Yeah. So,
if
you got some aunts, uncles, anybody like that, you can get on some property and stuff like that. Later part of the season, I think you do all right. Later part of the day, after they get pushed off the main body, they'll come out there.
I'm interested. I can't wait.
Me either.
Especially because duck hunting is going to turn into fly fishing real quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
Turn into bow fishing.
Yep.
Well, yeah. On the way back, we can bow fish.
Been there, done that.
I was looking at bow fishing rigs. I moved to a better bow this year, so I have an extra at the house. That's why I was asking if you're, by any chance you were left-handed. I was like, I may be able to help you out with a first-timer's bow.
I already gave my bow fishing rig away.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I've got mine that I'm about to get up and running. Because I would love to stick something with a bow. I've never been bow fishing.
Bow fishing is amazing.
Yeah.
See, I think that's what would tie it in for me down here in Texas. Like, I love hunting, and I absolutely love Texas. I love the outdoors. So growing up in Montana and Idaho, I'm used to the stock, to getting them in, getting that shot, long distance, whatever it was. So here in Texas, like, I think bow hunting would be just so invigorating for me to, get them into that super close range, and
it is.
That's a one-shot count, just the same as a gun, but it's a whole other stakes when it's a bow.
For sure.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. They're incredible animals, and shooting something with a bow is just so much fun. And like I said, it gives you the ability to pig hunt too.
Yeah.
I mean, you got so much place that you can go out to, and especially with like you've got a boat set up.
Yeah.
There's places you can get to that like just people aren't walking back to.
Right.
I mean, hardcore people are walking back to, which is you're taking a small pool of people who are out there bow hunting in the first place, and making it even smaller by somebody who's coming out there and that's one of the major reasons we got a boat this year is because of that. We got into some spots that are like you can walk to them absolutely, but you're talking about a 40-minute hike.
Yeah.
And if you're hiking with a stand and on legs and a bow and a backpack and water and this, you're quickly into 80 pounds that you're carrying back there, and you're just not coming that far back. But we're 50 feet off the water. So you're not hot. I don't sweat. We sweated the first time. Because we paddled. But I'm talking about on the way out there. We got out and just getting hung up.
You sweated the second time.
Oh my God, the second time. This was the time with the kayaks.
The
kayak train.
The whole train, yeah.
Well, we came out.
The wind was up on the main water.
There was a front rolling through.
Imagine what that was like.
14-foot John boat, and he is just disappearing under waves.
Yeah, I was
crashing
in the front
over the boat.
telling him, just go this way.
This is like
and
deadliest catch. Yeah.
It was ridiculous, man. I was like, we're done, boys. We're done.
Yep.
I'm like, just go. We went, and we had to go probably.
I was right.
You're absolutely right. We probably went easy 30, 45 minutes out of our way because there was no way for us to. We had to basically. So we come out of this river, and you're supposed to kind of roll back up towards this other arm of the lake, right?
Yeah.
We had to go like 30, 45 minutes out because we had to go straight out into the wind because the waves were coming in so big. I mean, we're talking 2 or 3 foot swells in a 14-foot John boat with all 3 of us in there, and I'm just like, I tipped a kayak last year, and I'm just like, I am not getting wet. I don't want to deal with this. It's just. I lost equipment. It was so expensive. I'm just like, I'm not going to risk.
Well, I mean, that draws back to in like the surf drives, everything you do. Like duck season and all that is probably the most dangerous time of the year to be out on the water on a boat.
Yeah.
You're all that gear. You're in your waders. The water is cold. So here in Texas, we're probably not, we're not as critical as you are in other places where it's super cold.
Yeah.
But go out of that. Go out there.
Still get hypothermia like that.
Yeah, it's white caps. The last thing you need is a dead battery, a motor that's not running, or whatever it is. You get stuck in the middle of a lake, and that's not a good deal.
No, it's not good.
That's a bad deal at all. So,
we hit that. We hit those waves and had to go all the way across to get the land, to get up close to the land to block the wind so we could cut across.
Yep.
I mean, it was treacherous, to say the least.
No, I've done that on my outboard. The last season I did them, I had one that was running on one cylinder, and I knew that I couldn't make it across the body of the lake that day. And it was white capping, and so all I could do was just stick to the shoreline, stay out of the white cap, stay where I knew I could get out and swim in or walk into shore and get home.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the thing. It's just you can get. It definitely ups the danger aspect and the loss, but I mean, it's so worth it because we're just in a place that you're just not dealing with a lot of people, and that equals success typically. You know.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Too with these type of motors and stuff like that. These lakes, there's so much area that you can get to by water, but it's actually surrounded with public land. You can't walk in. You can't get into it. But if you got a boat or a kayak or something, you can get into there. You can go fish it, hunt it, and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of opens up the possibilities.
It's been a game changer for us, I mean, you've got to have it. You just can't. I mean, it's almost no option in the state of Texas if you need a boat to be successul. But I mean, like I said, it's really nice to be able to have something that you can use all year round, though.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going to put a removable front casting deck on the front of my John boat.
Yeah.
And I'll take that out and we'll fish on that. And we'll bow fish off of it. We'll crappie fish off of it. We'll do the whole bass fish off of it, the whole 9 yards. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm looking forward to sinking some crappie trees. Do you do much crappie fishing at all?
Do a little bit of crappie, yeah. So I got a bass boat, so I've done it off that. But crappie down here gets hot. Sand bass has been my favorite this year.
Yeah.
The last few years. Yeah, sandies are great.
You found them where they're boiling the water and stuff?
Yeah.
Not yet, and I haven't seen it boiling, but I've had them where.
Follow the birds.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all
find the birds. You'll find sand bass.
Really?
The other day we were out on the boat and just birds just dive bombing the water. Just drove right up to it. My wife was driving. I was like, just get me right up to those birds. And they're like, what is the deal with the birds? I'm like, you wait and see. I mean, just threw out there, wham, 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 faster than I can get them off the hook. Just hammering them.
Nice.
Get into a school of freaking, they're chasing the shad, and those fish are chasing the shad up to the top of the water, and those birds are dive bombing that shad.
Yeah.
And so they're getting hammered from both ends. And
that's awesome.
But it's a feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
So, with this year we're looking forward to the crappie trees. Christmas is going to be everybody. We live in 3 different neighborhoods, so everybody's just going to
steal Christmas trees.
Steal Christmas trees about the day after Christmas.
For structure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Sink those out in the lake, mark some waypoints, and use the John boat to get them out there. Yep. I've already got several spots picked out, man. I'm like, man, that's going to be awesome. Little honey hole.
Make your own honey hole. I like it.
Exactly. Have about 10 or 15 of those at a couple different lakes.
Honey hole designing.
Exactly.
HGTV right there, baby.
If only it had the good stuff on there, like that, like make your own honey hole.
It's YouTube, man.
Yeah.
That's what I live and die by is YouTube.
We know.
Yep.
Pretty healthy addiction. So, well, Why don't you?
We whelped it at the same time.
Whelped it?
I like it.
So
You owe me a beer now.
Yeah.
you're right, Peach Poke. You owe me a beer. So how would we, if somebody was interested in buying a motor from you, how would that process work?
It's easy, man. 24th Century, we got you.
Yeah.
We're online. We're drakesurfacedrives.com.
Okay.
Drake, just like you got hens and drakes.
Yep.
Yeah, Drake. So drakesurfacedrives.com. We're on Facebook. You can Facebook us, Drake Surface Drives, and then you can get a hold of us on phone or anything, text message, anything like that. We're open Tuesday through Saturday. Right now, we're pretty much 7 days a week. Just it's the season, so
Building boats.
yeah,
Building motors.
Yeah, absolutely. 817-988-8301.
Awesome.
Rock on, man.
Hopefully we
Texas made.
Texas made.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right here in DFW.
Exactly. Well, we appreciate you being on the podcast, and I'm looking
Sure.
forward to our second trip, and I can't wait. Maybe we'll go out and do some fishing or do some hunting or something on the boat.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go out and scare the daylights out of you on a John boat doing all through the stumps. We'll take
I can't
one of
wait.
these surf drives out, and I'll show you. You don't have to be scared of stumps anymore.
I can't
Rock
wait to watch
on.
one of those.
Yeah.
Just hop over one of those things.
Just
you
get
know?
it. What do they say online? They're always send it. Is that right? Just
Send it.
Send
Yeah,
it.
Just
send
send
it.
it.
Just send it.
Yep.
That guy's hilarious. See that dude who does like stunts on his lawnmower?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Send it, man. I just had to
I'm
send
just
it.
gonna send it.
Just gonna send it, man. Canadian drunk as shit.
Yep. That's
You know?
it. That's it. Hey.
Hey, you hoser. Well, we also have VHA. We have a pint night coming up on November 8th at Four Corners
Yep.
with Texas Fly Fishing Festival.
Right.
We also have
The
Tommy
big one.
Etzel from Bonehead Tackle. He's going to be on that pint night. To be a storyteller, so there's going to be some good information. We have the big
Yep. Fusion one. Filson.
Filson, Filson storyteller event that the very, very spectacular guest of Lantani is going to be there.
Gonna be there.
Yeah, so at Filson down in Austin, that's where we're going to give the Yeti. We've got the 75 quart Yeti we're giving away. We've got the
And-
Kimber Mountain Ascent.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's Jordan's rifle, but,
It is my rifle.
you're going to have an opportunity to pay some money to watch Jordan win his rifle. But that's
All
really
right.
fun.
Might take it from me.
Yeah, I may win it. I don't know.
Right
I'd
out
like
of
to
the
win
hands.
that.
Right out of
Exactly.
your hands.
It's such a badass rifle.
Yeah.
Like
Like I
It's
thought,
like-
I love my Tico rifle because it's light, but
Yeah.
this rifle is light.
ridiculous. 6.5 Creedmoor, beautiful rifle. So that's coming up. That next weekend we're going to do our public land challenge with Hook and Arrow podcast and David Frisbee.
Oh, okay.
He'll be there. So we're going to do a public land challenge. We're going to roll out to a piece of public land that none of us have really hunted very much, a little
No.
bit,
We
we've been there before.
once
Once.
I hunted for a weekend.
And so we're going to go up there, and it's going to be public land challenge. A bunch of dudes seeing who can get something down, So that's coming up in the 1st of December. So lots of cool things happening.
I like it.
Episode 50 will be coming up soon. We're looking forward to something. We got to do something big for episode 50.
5-0.
strip
Big
club.
5-0.
Big 5-0 strip club.
Yeah.
Live from
Live from the strip club.
live from the
All
strip
right.
club.
Wow.
Yeah.
This went downhill quick. I'm in.
Yeah, exactly.
Downhill. I mean,
Dude.
depends on
happens
how
with
you
this
look
crew.
at it.
Yeah.
That's what happens with this crew. They got together the other night for Austin or Grinch's bachelor party, and they all got mosquito tattoos.
All right. Wow.
Because women are bloodsuckers,
Oh, wow.
right?
Yeah. Make sure the volume's down when she listens to that part. Just turn
My
it
wife
down.
will never listen to this podcast,
Perfect.
and if she does listen to this
My wife
podcast,
knows me.
yeah,
She
my
knows.
wife knows that I'm a piece of shit. My wife is definitely not listening to an hour and 40 minutes of me talk on a
wow.
podcast. She hears that all the time, so
Yeah.
I feel like I'm fairly safe.
She turned it off. She muted it after
Yeah,
10
she's
minutes.
like, nope.
She's like, I listened to you, I swear.
Yeah, I heard it.
No, you didn't.
So you hear that? So you listen a couple minutes. Not a minute. Yeah.
Exactly.
Skip forward.
Speaking of which, if you don't even like to hear us, just subscribe to the podcast, though, because that'll help us out.
Absolutely.
Like and subscribe. Rate it.
100%. 5
Exactly.
stars, I believe, is what it is.
5 stars.
Yes. One double lot.
Exactly. And a comment. And you, too, can be a proud owner of part of the Stormwater Creek crew.
And you're on all the social medias, right? You got Instagram.
Yeah,
I know she just started the Instagram.
We just started the Instagram. Yeah, I'm old school, man. I'm like, Instagram. I'm like, crap. I'll do it.
We're the same way.
But I'm in love with Instagram, man.
So easy.
It's so easy and it's so much better.
Yeah.
Because it's just like I don't get all the crap, right? And it may be that I'm not friends with any of people who are like talking shit. They're about hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
And so that's all I see in my feed is hunting and fishing.
There's no political bullshit like Facebook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Facebook's just like too
Facebook, Instagram,
YouTube. Man, my big thing, I'll say it's mine, is making the videos, man. I love to do it because I love the outdoors. So yeah, this winter, be prepared. We're going to make a really cool video. It's probably going to be a little bit long, but it's going to be duck hunting. It's going to be outdoors. It's got a little music, a little bit of everything. So it should be entertaining.
Rock on, man.
Turn the volume down. It's going to be good.
Yeah, we'll turn the volume down. Texas Live is a beautiful place, but it maybe not the best place to do a podcast.
It was right before we got here.
Yeah, no,
it was.
Sure.
It was very nice before we got here.
Well, I think that's it. Abe, cue the music.
Cue the music. Thanks. Pleasure to meet you, my friend.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining the podcast.
Rock on,
Thanks
man.
for having me on here.
Peace out, everybody. Thanks for listening.